Mr. Tennyson, excellent moments to every one of us. We say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on our time zone. It is the Global Clusters again, and today, Tuesday, we are having our Humanity Revolution of the Global Clusters. We are saying instead of end SARS, instead of end bad governance, instead of all the revolution and protest that never yielded anything positive to us as a people, as a nation, we are calling ourselves in the voice of the global president, Ambassador Dr. Adipini Badmos. We are saying, let's come do humanity revolution, where we treat ourselves not based on color, not based on tribe, not based on political or religious affiliation, but because we are all human. So we are here today, as our custom is every Tuesday, doing this revolution of humanity, whereby we deliberate and we talk about how we treat each other based on the fact that we are human, and for our own better growth and for the growth of our nation and for the growth of every one of us, for nation building and for the prosperity of all. And as our custom is important that we introduce ourselves to the Humanity Evolution video of the Global Clusters. Host, kindly share the video of Humanity Evolution as we proceed. Thank you.
Imagine a world bathed in the soft glow of kindness. Picture a bustling marketplace in Marrakesh, where a vendor offers a warm smile and a kind word to a weary traveler. See a young girl in Tokyo offering her seat on the train to an elderly woman, their eyes meeting in a moment of shared humanity. In a small village in the Andes Mountains, neighbors gather to help a family rebuild after a storm, their shared laughter echoing through the valley. These are not isolated acts of charity. They are threads in a vibrant tapestry of compassion that is being woven across the globe. Each act of kindness, no matter how small, contributes to a larger movement, a revolution of the heart. This is the Humanity Revolution. The Humanity Revolution is not a political movement, nor is it defined by any one religion or ideology. It is a universal calling, an awakening to the interconnectedness of all beings. It is a recognition that we are all part of something larger than ourselves, and that our actions have a ripple effect on the world around us. This revolution is fueled by compassion, the ability to understand and share in the suffering of others. It is driven by empathy, the capacity to step into another person's shoes and see the world through their eyes. And it is sustained by respect, a deep appreciation for the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. The impact of compassion is not merely anecdotal, it is deeply rooted in our biology and woven into the fabric of our communities. Studies have shown that acts of kindness release oxytocin, a hormone that promotes feelings of trust, connection, and well-being. When we are kind to others, we are also kind to ourselves. There are countless examples of how compassion and empathy have transformed lives and communities. In Rwanda, survivors of the genocide have come together to rebuild their shattered nation, offering forgiveness and understanding in the face of unimaginable pain. In the aftermath of natural disasters, we see ordinary people performing extraordinary acts of courage and selflessness, putting the needs of others before their own. The Humanity Revolution is not a spectator sport. It requires each of us to step onto the playing field of life and engage in acts of compassion, empathy, and respect. It challenges us to move beyond our comfort zones, to reach out to those who are different from us, and to extend a hand of friendship to those in need. Start small, smile at a stranger, listen with an open heart, offer a helping hand. These simple acts of kindness may seem insignificant, but they are the building blocks of a more compassionate and just world. Visit theglobalclusters.org to connect with others who are answering the call to action. Together, let us create a world where humanity thrives.
Together, let us create a world where humanity thrives. I welcome every one of us again to today's Humanity Evolution of the Global Clusters. In the name of the Global President, Ambassador Dr. Adipini Badmos, I greet every one of us. And of course, a very big shout out to the 001 Humanity Revolution in person of Dr. Yaru Doris. We greet you, ma'am. And of course, we greet the 002 Humanity Evolution in person of Chaplain Dr. James Mercy Obatunbi, the president of World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity Nigeria chapter. Thank you so very much, sir, for all you do. We appreciate everyone that have joined us today in the studio and everyone who are viewing on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook channel, our X, our Instagram, and our LinkedIn channel. Thank you so very much. It's another wonderful Tuesday, and I'm so excited. I am Klostiran Oluwaseyi Odusagun. I'll be holding on today for the 001 and the 002 Humanity Evolution. Of course, a very, very big, great shout out to the global president, the founder of the Global Clusters, Ambassador Dr. Adekunle Badun. Thank you so very much, sir, for creating this platform where every one of us could come and learn and take part of a revolution that is of nation building, not the one that causes chaos or divisions, but the one that build bridges that connects every one of us together, irrespective of our race, class, status, or whatever we could be. Or we have global clusters that is so large a community to accommodate everyone for betterment of our own selves, and of course that spread across to our nation, to our continent, Africa, and of course to the world. Thank you so very much, sir, the global presidents. We really appreciate you. All right, today is humanity evolution, and we're looking at a very important topic that resonate, with us as humans, and that could aid. Everything we do in the global clusters has always been about nation building. First of all, making ourselves better, because for you to have a great nation, for you to have a developed nation, you need to have a developed people, and that is very important. Last yesterday, Monday, we were able to have our mindsets, mindsets reset, with the story of Madam Miriam Basha. Thank you so very much, ma'am, for sharing your story. It's inspiring, and we all we all are learning from it and seeing how all these virtues could help us as individuals and make our world a better place. Thank you so very much. So today, in the humanity aspect, we'll be looking at moral education and civic duty in nation building, because whatever we do in the global clusters, it's about nation building. So moral education and civic duty in nation building is very important that, uh, like we said, we have to shape responsible citizens for a just and prosperous nation. The way we used to think, the way we used to do things, it to be um, insanity, you know, to be insanity for us to keep on doing the same, us to unlearn some things, we unlearn them. There's need for us to relearn some things, we learn them, and there's need for us to learn something new, to make ourselves better for us. It's very important that we start, we start as a matter of urgency to look within. Before I start blaming or complaining, I need to look at myself. How far have I been able to grow? How far have I been able to develop? How far have I been able to change? If I want to change one, I need to change. It was noted yesterday, it was hammered yesterday by Madam Miriam Bashua, that the one man can make a difference, and that's very, very important. That don't just look that I'm the only one person that is doing the right thing, the other people are doing what they like. So instead of you to join them, it's okay. You can actually be alone in that your corner, but one day you in that your corner are going to meet greater people that will see your virtue, that will align with you, and bit by bit, we're going to overcome that that prejudice and that's um, untidy or unhealthy situations in our nation, starting from individual. So we're talking about moral education and civic duty in nation. We shouldn't forget also that the global cluster is such a very wide community that for everything we do, we focus also on moral development. You understand? It's very important that that's one of the we have several features that make the global clusters platform social media community different, unique from others, because it's the first social media platform that focus on moral. So we're not just about the views, we're not just about the likes, we're not just about just making money alone, we want to build that rightness. Understand? We are actually pursuing rightness. Yeah, we understand our human nature, but we always strive, for us to mend that moral decadence in the society. So that's why we deem it important and necessary today to have the moral education and civic duty in nation building today as our topic. Moral education and civic duty in moral in nation building. All right. So when we talk about this, it's very important that we know that great nations are built by ethical, responsible citizens. Understand? The developed nations that we are looking at, that we are envious of, that we feel like we want to go to, their foundation is actually built on ethical and moral, responsible citizens. It's very important we know that. So moral education and civic duty promotes integrity and social commitment. You know, when you have people of sound mind that are well thoroughbred, that think right, they behave right, everywhere like the earth is gonna be like a paradise. You understand? So we can do it actually, we can do it and it's very possible. So as we explore how this moral education, we're gonna be looking at how it supports nation building. Do not forget, we said great nations are built by the ethical, responsible citizens. More education and civic duty promotes integrity and social commitment. Now, let's see how these support nation building. Now, what is moral education? When we talk about moral education, what are we talking about? As humans now, we're looking at human, not this not about race, this is not about class, because when we are strong in this rightness in moral, we're gonna have a better place. We've learned a lot, um, from yesterday's mind surgery. We see how good virtues, moral enlightenment, how it could spread across, from one generation, now a new generation is having it, it's going further like that. So all these things, racism, prejudice, discriminations, we're not born with it. It was taught. We learn all those things there. So that's why if we want a new thing to happen, if we want a new environment, new society, new nation, we need to unlearn something, let them go, and we learn new things. So that's why we see morals. Morals is very, very important. Morals is very, very important as human. So when you have a sound morals, it's very important, very easy for you to live with people of different colors, tribe, or class, or whichever. Either you are rich or poor. When you have a right moral sense, just look at nothing in this world, to treat people right. So what is moral education? Well, we talked about it to be teaching values, ethics, and principles. Moral education things to do with teaching values, ethics, and principles, and also instills respect, honesty, responsibility, and discipline. All these, those um, terminologies or and these descriptions that we can use for more education, you know, and this shapes character. All these values, ethics, principles, respect, honesty, responsibility, and discipline. All these they are ingredients that shapes character, for sound decision making. So when you have all these things, even when it's a situation between two parties, you know, you treat the matter not based on uh, religious or political affiliation or whatever inclination. You have a sound mind, you have a sound judgment. That will help us to have fairness and justice, and it will be good. Nobody will feel cheated and feeling unhumanly treated. So, what is now civic duty? No, we're looking at more education of civic duty. Um, Civic duty could be said to be responsibilities toward community and country. My responsibility towards my community, that is my immediate environment where I reside or anywhere I meet myself. When we talk about uh, community or immediate environment, wherever I am part time, is my immediate environment. If I'm in my residence, that's my immediate environment. So what's my responsibility at that in that area at that moment? Then when I'm at work out of my residence, that's my immediate environment. So how I behave there. When I move to anywhere, when I move from one locality to another locality, that's my immediate environment. So something is I'm expected, I'm expected to behave in certain way. Yes, that when I leave my country to another country, yes, that so I'm expected to. That's my immediate environment. So it's not just only in my hometown, as a Nigerian, you understand, or as an African. Anywhere I get to, I have a responsibility, to dish out based on the fact that I is my civic duty. Now, this civic duty have some of these features, uh, but not exhausting. They include voting, obeying laws, paying taxes, and promoting justice. Those are parts of. There are so many of them. So when you vote, making selection, being part of people that elect those that will lead. We all can be leaders as once. Yeah, we all have the potential to lead, but there are some people that are going to be put in the hands of leadership and making decisions. So I should be part of those that will come together to elect those that will be our leaders. So it includes voting, obeying laws, paying taxes, and promoting justice. Then it is an action side of patriotism. When we talk about patriotism, that the love for your country, the love for your people, you understand, the love for your homeland, you understand. So now all the things that you do, they are the ones that shows the love. This action, the action are those things that shows how we love our country, our nation, or our land. All right. So, what are the roles of moral education in nation building? What are the role? What are the feature? What are those things that? Okay. What do we? Why do we have to teach moral education? Why is it important in nation building? It develops law-abiding citizens. You know, every land should have a law. You understand? We'll talk about being law abiding doesn't make you stupid. Some people they just decide to be a rebel. They don't want to listen to any law. They feel like they broke the law. They don't want to be they count people that will be as sheepish or gullible. No, law are just there, to help us, to guide us. Also have a saying. Imagine we're just doing whatever they like. Look at what people are just doing anyhow in the society, the vices. So there should be laws to keep everybody at bay, do not, this is the right thing to do, respect people's rights and the like. So we develop law abiding citizen when we teach moral education. It develops an individual that listens, that cooperates, that want to do the right thing. Sometimes the human nature just want to will whatever, but with the moral education, it makes us feel like, okay, this is what's expected of me, this is how I should be. So it's very important. So that's one of the role of moral education in nation building. And number two is reduces corruption and crime. There's a saying that where there's no law, there's no sin. So all these, when we have this moral education, it helps us, okay, this is what you ought to do. This is what you don't need to take what is not yours. All those virtues I will promote is very, very important. When I know that okay, this is what I'm giving, I have to just stick with it. I don't need to take someone else's stuff. So it reduces corruption and crime. I don't want to steal, I don't want to think things forcefully. I don't want to I won't feel like I should just take things that is not mine. It's very important that when we teach this moral education, it's reducing it, reduce corruption and crime. Then number three, it promotes unity through shared values. Everybody coming together, um, sharing their views, coming together, sharing their experiences, how things should be done. That's what moral education helps us to come together to do that. So as we do that, it promotes unity. We all come together. I feel for my brother, I feel for my sister, I feel for my brother, man. Because we are in the same situation for growth. It's very, very important. Also, it encourages value-driven leadership. We have this moral education, you know, when it's time for us to select our leaders, because everybody have this moral, development, moral teachings. You understand? Whenever we want to choose people to lead, there are people that will be, we know that this person is part of us. We have these lessons together. We have this training together. This person we can vouch for this person. You understand? So we know that we don't need to have a second thought about what this person is going to deliver because we know that this person have had the training that is needed and the person will definitely deliver value. You know, it's very, very important when we treat these, it's gonna help us bring out leaders, leaders that are always thinking about development, they are always thinking about value, not just those I just want to take, from the system, but those I want to use the resources in the system to make the system better. It's very, very important that we note that because now, when you look at the situation of society, most of the time, especially our youth these days, most of us are just we don't want to put in the much needed efforts, but we want to take. We just want to take. We don't want to immerse everything. We don't want to push to submit ourselves to trainings, and it's really giving us issue in society. And where we have this more education, being taught, like it's been part of our system. It's encouraged leaders that are coming out, not just with their own selfish interest alone, but they are coming so that they want to add value to the nation, add value to their community, add value to their immediate environment, and to make the society better. So bit by bit, even from the grassroots, from the local governments and local council and development areas, everybody come together to add value. Okay, I can see what's happening in my environment. I want to deliver. We choose our leaders based on the fact that okay, these people that those we trust that they can deliver value, not based on not based on other trivia point of or points that are not meritorious. You understand? It's very, very important that we look at this. All right. So, what is the role of civic duty in nation building? If you look at the role of moral education, so what's the role of civic duty? As we have the moral education, so we also has to we have a responsibility. So, role of civic duty in nation building encourages participation in democracy. Everybody come together to add their voices, to um, select who they want, elect who they want to um, be their leader, making, you know, uh, asking the necessary questions, people being free, there's liberty in the nation, everybody have their own say in the affairs of policy making and governance. It's very, very important. So civic duty In nation building encourages participation in democracy. And number two, it builds accountable governance. We can always be sure that, okay, this individual, because this is about every one of us. Every individual of the nation make up the nation. The nation is not just a geographical location. Understand? A nation is not just the map. It's so what makes a nation is the people therein. And when the people can count on their leaders, to be accountable, we have a very wonderful and developed nation, no doubt. You know, nobody is being threatened to express themselves or to ask the necessary relevant questions, not the one that will bring the nation down, but the one that asks great philosophical questions that lead to inquiries, you know, for solution driven. It's very important. So another role of civic duty is it promotes volunteerism and public service. You know, every individual they feel love for the nation. They are so ready to serve, you know, irrespective. A nation that is lacking all this moral education, you see people losing faith in the nation, people losing trust in the leadership. So by so doing, people won't just. That's why sometimes, you see that when it's time for elections, sometimes in some countries, you see that even the electorate, that is the populace, they don't care because they're gonna say, "Ah, even if we should go out there, to vote, our votes won't count." That what makes some people in some countries doesn't even have interest in what is happening in the country. You understand? So they don't have interest. You ask them for the latest news about the country, they don't know. They don't even know what's happening. They just feel like they just lost interest. You understand? So it's very important when we have this more education in line with our civic duty. It promotes people who come out, to support a good vision, to support the nation to be better, to add value to the nation. Another role of civic duty, nation building, is it strengthens trust in institutions. Our institutions, we have the judiciary, our academic institutions. Sometimes you hear some children said, they don't trust the education system anymore. They don't trust the judiciary system anymore. You know, because the civic duty is lagging. It's lagging so. But when we have all these things there, we have the more education. We have people coming together, to work for the betterment of the nation. We have a very, very developed nation. So, what are the examples of civic responsibilities? What are those? There are so much, but I'm just going to be talking four here as we proceed because of our time. So, examples of civic responsibilities. One of them is participating in cleanup campaigns. You see youth coming together. Oh, let's clean our environment. It's not compulsory. We need to wait for the government. When we have this rightness there, the spirit of rightness. We have the moral education is there. So we have been educated. We have the virtues. We have been taught about the virtues. Understand about all the right things to do. Not until we are being pushed or forced to do it. There's no need for anybody to coerce us to do it. And there's nobody will arrest you for doing what is right. You understand? Imagine the youths coming out in their numbers and just, wow, our society is dirty. Oh, we need to clean up. You understand? Nobody will shoot them. Nobody will arrest them for doing that. You understand? So some of the civil responsibilities, participating in cleanup campaigns, youth coming together, people coming together, to make their environments clean. When I was growing, then we used to do that. At least, I mean, like last Saturdays of the month, then we used to do some environmental sanitation. Then I don't know if you see exist now, though. We come out in our numbers. I grew up to experience that. We come out in our numbers by I think from the morning to 10 a.m. everybody will be at home, playing everywhere, even the marketplace, everywhere we need, it's kind of fun those days. But hopefully we'll continue to. So when we do all those things, it gives us the right name, because people growing, the younger generation will see us that we are doing that. So it's going to be helping everybody have that sense of responsibility and belonging that, oh, this is our environments we have to clean up. Now, another example of civic responsibility is reporting crimes and injustice. We report and when we see something, we say it, and we raise an alarm about it. We don't just keep shut. Good we have the social media now that could help information fly so fast. You understand? So when we see something that is like kind of cynical, that is not right, we report it. That is we don't just turn our eyes, you understand, because it's not affecting some people. Because something is not affecting them, they just turn their eyes and just move. Some people will even see people in distress, especially people involved in accident, and instead of them, you just make, even if you can, yeah, it's necessary for us to help. But sometimes helping people in distress now anything could happen, and there has been calls of people trying to assist some victims of accidents, and because the they passed on with and they have they deal with the ghost, and they have to write statements, and some are even incarcerated for that. So it's better I just call, make reports about that. So making reports about crimes, you feel you had something, some sound that is not fair or nice in the environment, you make the call to the police, or the security agents around. And of course, injustice also, where there's somebody that's been unfairly treated. Yeah, we have the human rights around us. We can make a call through them for them to intervene. We don't need to put laws in our hands. So another example of civic responsibilities, attending town hall meetings. Whenever there's call for deliberation, let's be there. Even if we think that whatever we're going to discuss, they're not going to work around it, it's going to be a waste. Let's still go there and participate. Yes, that go there and have your voice in every town hall meetings is very important. Add your voice, express what you need to express, have a sense of responsibility. Don't just be a complainant alone. There are some people, they are so good in criticizing people, they are so good in lashing people. But when it's time for them to come deliberate for a way out or positive things, you won't see them. We shouldn't be there whenever there's need, to come together, to have a dialogue. Please let us be available for all these town hall meetings. Could be in the local, in the community town hall, it could be in the states, it could be in the national one, like we have the confab, the national confab that we used to have. I think there's one coming up recently, and next there's one coming up. I think maybe November or September in Nigeria. So it's very important that we do our best to participate in things like that, so that we can also add our voice to the development of our own community, states, and of course the nation. So another example of civil responsibility is educating others on rights and duties. Yeah, we have done this in the humanist revolution also. Yes, the 002 has taken up on some on all uh, the rights under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We were taught, all the 30 articles on the rights and how we can know them. We the chaplain James did a lot of work then, and we really appreciate it. I think we did it for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks. We took 10 each for every week then. So it was very necessary that we teach people, let people know their rights. It's very important so that they won't just feel unnecessarily vulnerable, and victimized. It's very important. Let them know their rights as individual, and of course, then during that training, then we're taught that even as you have your rights, you have your duties. So, and I think last week, yeah, we were taught our duties as human, as individuals in the nation. So it's very, very important that we educate others, let people know their rights. There are so many people that are suffering today because they don't know, and they are going through serious unjust treatments, even in the hands of those are supposed to protect them. It's very important that we let them know that no, this is your right. You don't need to be shut up. No, you have the right to express this yourself, but don't just misuse or abuse this right, because any right that is being misused or abused will be taken away from you. So it's very important that we know that as a people and as we pursue for nation building. All right, so some of the challenges to moral and civic development. We have some challenges. There's some people that you try to want them to learn this, want them to understand how this works, but there's always a challenge in science, a challenge to how uh, this work. We have the moral education, but there are some barriers that doesn't allow some people to get this education. We have some civic duties. There are some things some people don't know. Ignorance is part of it though. So, but we have some challenges here to moral and civic development. Number one of it is family value decline. You know, things have really changed. In those days when I was growing, we have a lot of elders, elderly people around us, guiding us, training us how to behave, how to be right, doing the right thing, cautioning us, you know. But now the family value has really declined. In those days, I had the opportunity to live in a very in a society where you have everybody around. You have the older brothers, you have the younger brothers, you have the aunts, you have the uncles around. We grew in a community of people, where we have large people around, we have the older ones around, where they give us the right advice, the right suggestions, they correct us. We have a strong family value there, about dignity, respect for your human being, digging for labor, hard work, self-reliance, making sure you find something doing, being productive. But those value are really declining now. So nobody want to learn all this moral education anymore. Like everybody's just pushing after material, and materialism is affecting how we let people understand the value of life and the value of morals. So that's the challenge. Family values are declining. Some parents right now, some parents are supposed to be still under their parents. You understand? So the training is not there, and it's affecting. So family value decline is a challenge. And number two is negative role models in leadership. It's a serious challenge. Imagine you want to train people that, oh, this is how to do things, but what they are seeing others that are ahead of them doing is not even the same as what you are trying to teach them. So the negative role models in leadership is serious being, the serious being in moral and civic development is very, very important. Those are the things that are affecting society. And number three, we have the media promoting bad behavior. The media these days is just somehow. Maybe I was lucky while I was growing, maybe because before the advent, I saw the technology coming into Nigeria. Technology started booming in Nigeria around 1999 2000. So I saw it. I saw technology coming. It met me. I saw it growing. Understand? So I wasn't just I wasn't born into technology. So I was born. So technology came. So I saw it. So but now everywhere, social media is everywhere. Anything now is just taking the attention of people to have this morals. Whatever is happening is in the media now is what we want to follow, and the media is there to make money. Everybody wants to make money, and the media, if someone promotes, when you see something bad, you know, it's just what you see the likes, you see the views, like if you check what's happening right now on the YouTube channel of the global clusters, maybe some likes or maybe some views. But if it's something that we are doing that is now like somehow, you see a lot of views and likes, that's just the media. But we won't follow that. That's why we are talking about. That's why we are sending this message out there to the world that we still need to streamline. That's why we have the global clusters social media platform whereby we always promote more. If you have the access to the global clusters app,
You see that everything that we do there is clean because it's being monitored. If you post anything that is not right, you'll be censored and then you take it down. Because we are always promoting and supporting value, not just money. And then number four, lack of civic education in schools. Yeah, I am an educator, I'm a teacher. I understand that yes, some government schools, most all of the government schools are now introducing civic education. We should make civic not just for civic education that we do in school should not just be to pass examinations. No, we should make it a way of life. You understand? Yeah, everybody needs to do civic education now, even from primary to junior secondary to secondary, even to university now. And I understand higher institution civic education is now compulsory, but we still asking ourselves when we have all these things, why is still some decadence in this society? So it's important that we entrench it's not just a curriculum, like it should be a way of life. Our time is really running fast, so I will just pick some points here, then as we allow others also to add their voices. So solutions and way forward. Where is solutions and way forward? So all this that we have mentioned, we should reinforce civic and moral education in schools, like I said, not just as a curriculum to pass examination, but as a way of life. Let's continue to reward good students. They are morally upright. Yeah, it's beautiful. We have students that are intelligent with all the straight A's we give them. But when we see a child, imagine a child from GSS or throughout, no issues, no issues with the student or with the teachers or with the principal or with the fellow, that kind of child should also be celebrated. You understand? That doesn't mean that child is not smart at all. I relate with children so very much. I'm an educator. I teach children of ages 12 to 16, 17, 18, from that's from SS1 to 3 here. And I see that there are some kids that they just want to cause trouble to be popular. For real. They just want to cause mayhem. They just want to be rude and lie, so you keep calling them. And the cool guy will like, why are you not seeing me? So let's identify that cool guy that is in that corner, not causing trouble. Yes, and that doesn't mean that guy is not smart. You understand? Don't let's always magnify, let's amplify something that is good is very, very important. So number two is encourage value-based leadership. Like we said, let's start checking them young. Children that are doing right, let's support them. You understand? Because they're not talking doesn't mean they are not smart. Yeah, they could be reserved. You understand? They could be reserved. So we should. It is our own duty to identify those ones and support them and appreciate them. So we should use media to promote positive behavior, like we do in the global clusters. We are always looking out. We are always looking out for those people in that corner doing the right thing, amplifying them, letting the whole world to see them. So the global clusters is where we appreciate the good. Yes, that we appreciate the good. That is what we do here. We want to magnify the good. We want everybody to see that something good is happening here and want them to come see it. It's very, very important. And also, uh, another solution is support mentorship and moral development. Everybody, we are all here. The Global Clusters platform is where we produce accurate and quality leadership. Because we are saying that we want the giants ones, the powerful ones among us to mentor the younger ones, the less powerful ones, and mentor them to greatness. And so take them, adopt them, and mentor them to greatness. It's happening here and it's working really, really well. And we are telling the whole world, our nation, to do that. That's in that sense, our youth will see that, oh, I'm responsible now. I don't need to cause mayhem. I don't need to cause trouble because they have a good uh, mentor. So as we are closing, our course to action is let's practice honesty and fairness. Let's stand against injustice. Let's serve our community. The nation building begins with you as an individual. It's very important that we know that a nation thrives on morally sound civical action citizens. A nation thrives on morally sound civically active citizens. Let's raise a responsible generation ready to build a better future. Even when we think that what is happening right now is not right, but we can make it good. That is why we are the Global Cluster. Say every day we are meeting so that we can like the global presence you always say that even if you have a glass of water that is filled with dirt, you understand? When you continually pour a clean water in that cup that is dirty with the dirt, and you continue doing that, it's gonna evacuate the dirt and the clean water will remain in that cup. So we that's why we're having our meetings every day. We're constantly pouring the rightness, the right value, so that the whole world will see that wow, something is great is happening here in Nigeria, and very soon, we are so sure that this is going to spark up the whole world, and we are going to bring Nigeria back to where it ought to be as a nation of accommodating, a nation of greatness, of love, of morally upright people that are ready to serve and make the world a better place. Thank you so very much, Yamaduashi Obisagun. I can see great people on the platform, and I would like to have our voices. Master Genie, it's been a while. We have been reading you, sir. We miss you. Trust you are good. Welcome back, Master Genie. It's wonderful to have you, and I would like you to have your voice first, sir, as we proceed. Thank you, Master Genie. Over to you, sir. Master Genie, are you there? Master Genie? Okay, I can see you are muted. Maybe you are busy. Welcome, sir. Good to see you again. Yeah, Madam Empress Debbie, please, if you are there, kindly add your voice as we continue. Empress Debbie.
Thank you very much, Clusteran Oluwaseyi. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much on that grateful lecture for today's Humanity Revolution. Thank you very much. I was trying to catch that your last quote. It was the network was really bad on my end, where you say we have to be typical and syndical about the nation building. Yes, without taking too much of our time, today is another humanity revolution of the global clusters. And we are saying to all that is listening to us today and that will be listening to us in the future, we have to be typical, we have to be syndicate about being humanitarian to each other. A nation building needs the human to build each other because without ourselves, the land, the trees, the breeze, everything is not going to hold up without us because God that created everything, that created us last, make us the human, the king over every other thing. So we have to have the mind of humanitarian towards everybody around us because without us showing humanity towards the next person, how do we want to expect it back? You know, that is what I've gotten. All you said there that I was able to catch. I'm sorry that I'm not able to stay too long, but thank you so much for always being there, Klosenalua Sheyi, and I'm so happy to be part of today's Humanity Revolution. My own name is Kayode Yedotun, the 002 Certificate Revolution of the Global Clusters. Thank you very much, Klosenalua Sheyi, and I greet our president, Ambassador Dr. Adekunle Badmos, our first lady, and all the great clusterans in the house and non-clusterans. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Master Genie. Good to have you. We have missed you. It's been a while, but thank God that you are fine. Good to have you. Thank you. Yes, Madam Empress Debbie, kindly add your voice, ma, as we are planning to close for today. Empress Debbie, kindly add your voice. All right. Empress Debbie is still busy. All right. Yes. We want to appreciate everyone for being on the call. Please, if you have been from YouTube, kindly uh, add your voice to the chat. In the chat box, kindly uh, input your own thoughts. Then, if you're on Facebook, also, can you do the same? Let's have your voices, what you will be able to take along from what we have shared from today's humanity evolution. We shouldn't forget that a simple recap from what we've talked about: moral education, and civic duty in nation building. That's what we did today. You know, looking at how uh, morals, the importance of morality, you understand, in nation building. It's very important that, when we teach these values, when we teach these ethics and principles, we instill respect, honesty, and responsibility, discipline in our people as individuals, to help us in a long way, um, to build, develop an individual that have a sense of responsibility. To help us to have our good leaders. We choose our leaders right, and we have leaders that are really ready to add value, to the nation. We won't just have um, citizens that lack interest in the nation's activity based on the fact that they've lost trust in the leadership, you know, because they don't feel like they don't feel that they belong, for the fact that they are not valued, their voices are not that are not cared for, they don't care about what they intend to do or had. Understand? So we'll have this moral education, teaching it right from the cradle, you know, even our parents, making this not just in the curriculum, but making it a way, we can make it like a policy. We can entrench it in our constitution that every day, even uh, our some all the agents of our civilization and socialization, not just the school alone, every association, every gathering, we talk about it. You understand? We talk about the right values, not just alone the pursuit of material things. You understand? When we teach all these values to our people, making them know that you need to be someone that had value, you need to be someone that's productive, you need someone that is doing something, when you know that okay, you are busy, you should be busy doing something right. Understand? You shouldn't just be in a corner expecting something to happen. You have to be responsible. You have to learn skills. You have to get yourself trained. You understand? So all these values, when individual, when citizens have this rightness in their own mind, growing with it, it helps us have a society where there's peace, and everybody having their own quota, having value. Before we know it, the nation will continue starting from the grassroots. You understand? Because I believe that for something to be great, for something to grow bigger, you have to start from the grassroots, you have to start from the foundation. So starting from every home, every one of us, we have a gathering, you know, every one of us, we have a clique. Every one of us, we have friends and associations. So all these clique and associations and every gathering wheresoever they gather, it should be, you know, every thought, every teaching of morals. You understand? Let everybody have this in mind that the best thing in life is when you see yourself, not just because you have different faiths, different belief doesn't make you an enemy. You understand? So when we teach people all this, humility, honesty, love, it helps us to grow ourselves individually and our nation to grow better. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate everyone on the call today. Thanks everyone on YouTube and on Facebook. And it's very important that we close today. And as we close, we ask ourselves, who are we? We are the community of professionals or upcoming professionals. We are the community of technocrats or upcoming technocrats. We are the community of entrepreneurs or upcoming entrepreneurs, where we share accurate knowledge of our industries because we believe that we have the right knowledge, we have the right power, where we share accurate information of what we know because we believe that when you have the right information, it's like a bridge from where you are to where you ought to be. And we share accurate connection because we believe that whoever you are connected to determine what to collect in life. The social media platform of the global clusters is not just a platform like Facebook where you connect with people and make friends, where you can create your own group and they can join a group and then familiarize with people all over the world. The global clusters platform of the global clusters is not just come to the marketplace where you can sell like a pro or you affiliate like like a pro and make sales, or where you just come and you get onboarded and start making money. The social media platform of the global clusters is the first social media that is promoting morals, and it's all about nation building. We have all the languages of the world here, including our own Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. They are there. The Global Cluster app is proudly Nigerian made, and for Nigeria, for Africa, and to the world. We want to showcase that yes, Nigeria, of course, we are great. We can do great things for ourselves and, of course, impact the world. You can check us out on our Play Store. We have on the Play Store, we have Global Clusters on Play Store. Of course, you can go to the website. If you are not using Android, if you're an iPhone or the computer, go to www.theglobalclusters.org. Check us out there, join us, subscribe, and let's come our meetings. Let's share this meeting with everyone. You can follow our link, our meetings on YouTube. You can follow on Facebook. All our meetings are free for everyone because we are pursuing to make sure our nation is also on the map of greatness again, as we ought to be, as we usually is. That is very, very important that let's say, when it comes to this meeting, and we are pushing to make all our meetings, everyday meetings, a national program that everyone could listen to us so that we can have this mind that we can do it together. We can make our nation great together. We are the one that can make our nation great. Nobody's going to come save us. We together as citizens, we are the one that have the responsibility to make our nation great again. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate and give great kudos to the founder of the Global Clusters in the person of Ambassador Dr. Adekunle Badmus. Thank you, sir, for where you are. Thank you so very much, sir. And we appreciate the 001 of Humanity Evolution, in person of Dr. Yaro Doris, and we appreciate the 002 Humanity Evolution, in person of Chaplain Dr. James Nessie Obatunbi. I am Uluwa Sheyi, and I say thank you so very much, and bye for now. See you tomorrow for our Genuine Love Revolution, 5 p.m. again tomorrow. Blessings. Thank you, and bye for now.